a beef with Wendy Williams, saying I got raped in jail because that disrespected me, my family, and what I represent.
Hold on. Wendy Williams said Tupac he got raped in jail? Damn!
I don't hear nobody out there.
December, my friend and co-worker Moni Love, a pioneer for women in hip-hop, made a cameo in the Dogg Pound video, New York, New York. In the video, Snoop Dogg and his West Coast crew were shown crushing buildings in New York City, Godzilla style. The video was shot in Brooklyn, Biggie's hometown. The Dogg Pound said the video was misunderstood, that it was intended to be a tribute to New York.
Stop it. You need to tell that to somebody else because I certainly don't believe you.
But personally, I questioned why they would choose to shoot something that could be taken the wrong way at such a sensitive time. And in fact, it was taken the wrong way. Gunshots were fired on the set. Poor Moni. She only went there to support Snoop, but people gave her so much shit for it, calling her a traitor and questioning her allegiance.
People are so fickle. You know, one person can say something or do something and they want to bash them into the ground. And you could have another person that say or do something and it's no worries. Because dig this. When, what's his name, Tretch from the East Coast, he was good friends with Tupac and them. And they ain't say a mother hunky thing about Tretch. Hanging out with them West Coast dudes, taking pictures, having a good time, running trains on the ladies. You know what them rapper dudes be doing. Blink if you know what I'm saying. But poor Moni, they wear her ass out. She got caught up. Definitely. And I always wondered what happened to Moni in the middle. Okay? Her ass got caught up in the middle. Between the East Coast and the West Coast business. I didn't know exactly why people were not feeling her anymore. I do now. But it's sad that that young lady had to go through that so early in her career. It was a bad choice. It was just like it was a bad choice for Faith to take her ass over there to the West Coast and choose to sing a song with Tupac or Moni. She only went there to support Snoop, but people gave her so much shit for it, calling her a traitor and questioning her allegiance. She's such a sweet girl, and I felt bad that she got so beaten up for it, but it was a hostile time. We were all so young and so invested, and it seemed so real. I didn't know what to make of it all, but I knew it felt dark and I knew it felt scary. So imagine how I felt when I got a call from a record exec at Interscope saying that Tupac wanted me to appear in his I Ain't Mad at Your video trickery. Like I told y'all before, that goddamn Faith was a cheap dollar bet. Cheap dollar bet, yeah, girl. A cheap dollar bet. Sometimes you think that women are devious and catty and sneaky and snidely. They just be the same way. They be placing cheap dollar bets on you, girl. Like Faith was a cheap dollar bet. Girl, Faith Evans, girl, I am so sorry that you got caught up in that bullshit because I would have made those same mistakes. Especially when you're moving off of emotion and you want revenge. And I'm referring to Biggie cheating on her and she making the choice to do business with a man who is supposedly in a beef with her husband. I really had no idea what to expect. I didn't know if Pac was this bad guy people were making him out to be. I didn't know if he was trying to set me up. Oh, he did. He was. I had that notion of who he was in my mind, but I would do my best to suspend judgment.
I was surprised at how polite he sounded on the phone. Trickery. This is definitely not what I anticipated. Not that I expected him to be screaming thug life on the phone, but he was nice. Humble even. I can't be in your video, I explained, clarifying from the start of the conversation. I can't show up to work tomorrow if I'm in your video. Yes. No, you won't get me, nigga, like that Moni Love. I just seen it. I know it's radio bitches over there on the West Coast you could choose. Why are you messing with us on the East Coast? Because he has a mission. He has a mission to hunch all the East Coast ladies and then put it in a rap song. I can't show up to work tomorrow if I'm in your video. I've got to walk around in these streets. I can't stand next to that right now. And that's when Pac started explaining himself. He said that when he was in jail, he felt like everybody, especially in New York, was shizzing on him and making up stories. He explained that it wasn't a coastal thing. It was a media thing. You were one of the only people that reported what was happening without a negative spin on it. You didn't put any extra dirt on my name. I appreciate that, he said. You know, this East Coast, West Coast thing is really not that. It's not a whole coast. How could I be mad at a whole coast? Yeah, but nobody heard you say that, I said. It's the first I'm hearing it. Why don't you come up to the show and we'll do an interview? I still feel like it's trickery. Angie, I don't know, Angie. I would love to, but I'm shooting this movie right now in LA. I can't leave, but if you want to come here, I'll send you a ticket for a flight, he offered. Forget about the videos. Don't even worry about it. You're not comfortable? I understand. I'll send you a ticket. Come out here. We'll do the interview out here. Okay, I said. I'm going to have somebody call you to set it up. I knew that I had to go. I just knew with everybody going so crazy, it was getting bad. I honestly thought I could help. If I could get Pac on tape saying that the war was not between all of the East Coast versus all of the West Coast, but rather between a specific group of rappers, that could be helpful. That could be the beginning of making peace. Could I do that? I was 25 years old and had so much to learn, but I had to try. That's all I knew. Okay. We know she got good intent. I feel she has good intent. I was excited. I was nervous. I was all of that. Tupac was flying me to LA for what could be the most important interview in the entire country. This was hands down the biggest opportunity of my career. After work, I headed to my boyfriend G's apartment. I couldn't wait to tell him the news, but his reaction completely threw me off. All he had to say was, "What are you going to go to see that nigga for? You're going to be out there with a bunch of dudes? How do you think that looks?" I mean, but, yeah. Yeah, I feel that way, but when you're in that type of business, that happens. Before I know it, I'm landing at LAX and being greeted by Tupac's assistant, Mindy, a cute, thin, blonde-haired girl. Not exactly what I expected. Later, I learned that Pac actually had a lot of women around him that handles his day-to-day. That surprised me. Mindy was sweet, organized, and super efficient, and let me know as soon as I landed that he was busy just in on a set of a movie he was doing. What movie was he doing? Was it Juice? What other movie did he do? What movie is this? I don't know, y'all. Y'all put it below. He said for me to take you to the hotel for you to get settled, and then I'll come back and pick you up tomorrow. Mindy explained as soon as I buckled my seatbelt. He's trying to knock out everything and move things around so he can block out the day for you tomorrow and have a lot of time. Pause. Why the hell didn't Mindy meet Faith? Something ain't right. This is not what Faith explains. This ain't what happened with her. This is kind of weird. This is making me feel uncomfortable here. I don't know, Faith.
If it was about business, you would have met Mindy, Faith. I don't know, girl. He's really excited to talk to you. He keeps asking, did Angie get in? Is she here? As I'm hearing her say this again, I'm reminded of the magnitude of this interview. Angie, I'm sitting with Tupac in his crib right now. If we get anything positive out of this, then it's more than worth it. First thing I think we need to talk about is the East Coast, West Coast thing. That's really what's on people's minds in New York right now in terms of you. A lot of people feel like you kind of flipped on them. Tupac, I don't know why people could feel like I'm flipping on them because I'm trying to give it up to where I'm from. Angie, but aren't you from New York? Tupac, that's where I was born, but that's not where I learned how to make money. When I came out to, wait a minute, pause. Tupac is from New York? I thought his ass was from Baltimore. Okay, I don't know. Tupac, that's where I was born, but that's not where I learned how to make money. When I came out to the West Coast, this is where I got laced. This is where I learned. This is where I became a man. Right from the start, I could see that he was far more articulate and calculated than I was. Meaning, that ninja rehearsed. Angie, so are you saying that you don't have a beef with New York? Tupac, nah. I have a beef with anybody in my way. Anybody that'll come against me, that feel like they could criticize me because they bought my album. That feel like just because they read an interview that they know who I am. Okay, I got that. I have a beef with them interfering with me getting my money. I get that. Get out the way of me making my money. I got a beef with Wendy Williams saying I got raped in jail because that disrespected me, my family, and what I represent. I got a beef with New York rappers just saying whatever they want to say about where I'm from. Hold on. Wendy Williams said Tupac he got raped in jail? Damn. He went off, continuing his laundry list, which finally came around to the main beef. And because I still didn't fully understand, I asked exactly how his relationship with Biggie had gotten so bad and what exactly Biggie had done. Tupac, he acted like he didn't know what happened when I got shot. He didn't know what happened. I was tripping out. I was bugging. I must have been effing on drugs when I got operated on. This ninja only got shot once. He was acting like a movie when he came upstairs. That type of shiz is going down. Puffy's the one that really snapped me back to my senses. When this punk mother effer said, thug life, you gonna be a thug. You gonna be a thug forever. You can't go in and out of it. Okay, now when a cream puff ninja like that, okay, hold on, Tupac. Hold on. People get mad at me when I say Tupac. He kind of bluffing. Don't forget, y'all the ones that told me that the Tupac be acting. Okay? All right. Puffy can act. Okay, now when a cream puff ninja like that tell me that it's time to ride, because I had legitimately just walked away from the shiz. I was going to take my shots and move on. I already knew what happened. Only thing that pissed me off is when ninjas tried to make me seem like I was bugging or bullshitting like I just shot myself. Nobody knew what happened. That's just really made me trip the F out. And then Mobb Deep doing shows and they introducing people on stage like this, the ninja that shot Pac. Okay, so I don't know if Biggie was responsible for getting Tupac shot. I wholeheartedly believe that Puffy is responsible for getting Tupac shot that time. That's some shiz that Puffy would do. We know this ninja is untouchable, or he was, girl. He was. Girl, you piss the people off and they will snatch your ass up, all I'm saying. Where was that? In Queens. It get real deep and everybody involved know it get deep. This is basically
what it is. Fear is stronger than love. His point was that New York was an innocent bystander, and there was no question where the battle lines had been drawn for him. Tupac. Ninjas that represent New York. Some of these rappers, there's a lot of cool ninjas out there. But as far as Bad Boy, Puffy is the head of Bad Boy. He's a cream puff. He's being extorted. So the ninjas that extorted him don't pump no fear in my heart. They pump fear in his heart.
Who you talking about? The Clive Davis? Y'all talking about the El Diablo? What he got to do with this?
I rode against the ninjas extorting him. They tried to murk me. Biggie and them watched it and acted like they didn't know what happened. So now I'm going to end his business. I'm going to end it so the extorting ninjas don't get no money. Biggie don't get no money. Puffy don't get no money. I get all the money and they be out the rap game. That's what's popping. Angie. And how do you intend to do that? I'm going to do it. Them ninjas ain't doing no tours. They ain't living good. They sleeping with extra security. They got guns out. They was out here panicking like a mother hunchy. Angie, this is the whole thing that's going on. Tupac, it's a military move. I don't know. Tupac sounding real crazy right now, y'all. I don't know. Not that it's not true, but it's like, I know Angie sitting there like, oh my God. I'm sitting next to the crazy motherfucker. Angie, this whole thing is your beef with Biggie and Puffy? No doubt. So it has nothing to do with disrespecting New York. Every time Pac came close to giving me something concrete that I could use to diffuse the East Coast. Every time Pac came close to giving me something concrete that I could use to diffuse the East Coast West Coast beef, he'd back off and say something even more inflammatory instead. Cause that ninja is crazy. Y'all know he a Gemini and he crazy. You can't, man, them Geminis is fucking feudal. They volatile. But what I think needs to be clarified is this beef, this whole thing. Tupac, there is no beef. When Biggie get attacked, he run to New York and say, they after us, they after us. We ain't after y'all, we after Biggie. Y'all just need to mind y'all business. Every time somebody say something in rap, New York is not the only mother sucker that can answer. In hip hop, there's so many battles that nobody trip off, but mine's everybody involved. Why you can't respect a soldier for being a soldier for the uniform that he's wearing? Child, this is knocking me out. I'm gonna leave it there because I be pissing you Tupac people off. Why you can't respect a soldier for being a soldier for the uniform that he's wearing? Don't get mad at me because y'all niggas is not. They punks. If Biggie was fighting, you would never have thought I was attacking New York. The only reason why I look like I'm attacking New York is because I'm stomping this ninja. I'm smacking him upside against the wall and he's not answering. So I'm banging him up against New York walls and it's like he ain't doing nothing. Angie, what's going to come out of this? Tupac, I want my respect. It's not going to be over till I drop my Nagaski. They did they shit. They bombed Pearl Harbor. They shot me 5 times, okay? But until I get Nagaski, we can't have peace. What the hell is Nagaski? What is he talking about? I could tell by his aggression that I wasn't going to get what I was looking for in this moment. I would have to come back to it. My job was not to judge, but to still ask hard questions and not to be intimidated. At one point, I tried another way to subtly challenge Pac. This time about Faith Evans and his claims that there had been a relationship between him and her, something that she denied. I asked why he would drag her into this.